Welcome back to another episode of Turbo Garage, and today we're going to be working on my 1990 Nissan 300ZX twin turbo. We're preparing the car for the dyno tomorrow. It has previously been tuned and now it's just going to be getting a bit of a touch up. Last time it went on the dyno it made about 320 kilowatts, which is roughly 430 horsepower. So it has a bit of go and it is a lot of fun, but I've since changed the setup slightly. I've made a few small repairs to the car that would have been affecting it last time it was tuned, which I was not aware of at the time. I bought this car when I was 19 years old. I knew nothing about them. I just really wanted a Z32. This one being a two-seater manual twin turbo model, it is quite desirable. And when I bought it, all of my friends told me I was stupid. And honestly, I think I should have listened because it was an absolute head case of a car. The motor blew up in about 2 weeks. It's a long story. It wasn't really my fault. It was previous owners' issues that I wasn't aware of at the time, and I was so clueless mechanically that I just didn't see it coming. In hindsight, probably should have checked it over. I had the car checked over by a professional that knew them, but these things happen. So over the last 3 years, I have put the car back together myself. I've got a standard short block in there with rebuilt heads and ARP head studs, GTX 2867R turbos, 740cc injectors, 3-inch turbo back exhaust, split fire coil packs, and a front mount intercooler. It is all controlled by a Link G4X, which is probably the best modification I did to this thing. And it's been quite reliable, you know, quite reliable as one of these can be. It has had a couple of teething issues, one of which being it was chewing through coolant, couldn't find a leak, couldn't find anything wrong. And then a friend of mine suggested to retorque their head studs, which I did, and that solved that. So I think we may have had a bit of a bump up with compression there. And the other issue was the clutch. The pressure plate bolts came loose. I did torque them to the recommended spec. I don't know what happened. That has also been fixed now as well. So now that it's got the compression sorted and the clutch sorted, I do think it is time just to get the tune at least once over, which we're gonna be finalizing the preparations for now. The last thing that I wanted to sort out was the wastegate actuator rods. They are adjustable. The driver's side one seems to be wound in pretty tight and I think it's holding really well, but the passenger side one still has a lot of adjustment left in it. So I wanted to adjust that one just so it's holding that wastegate shut a bit tighter, because last time on the dyno, we did have some small boost control issues. Didn't really affect it, just held us back with how much boost we're able to put through the car. It's running 19 PSI, which is a fairly safe amount with these turbos and with a standard motor with head studs. But if we can get a bit more out of it, or even just more low range, because it is a bit laggy, I'd be absolutely stoked. So I'm gonna get the car in the air so we can get under it, look at this actuator rod, and we'll take it from there. Now once again, safe jacking points and spots for your stands, and now we're good to let the car down. Make sure it's safe. I don't think that one's going anywhere. I think we're all good to get underneath this car and try to figure out what is going on with this wastegate actuator. All right, so we're underneath the Z, and it's gonna be hard for me to demonstrate doing the job here, but I'll at least show you the before and afters. So here's our wastegate actuator. This controls the boost for the car. So when you reach your desired boost, the boost controller opens up, sends it through here, which opens up here. It's hard to see, opens that, which allows air to escape out the back of the turbo rather than building more boost. Now these rods, my ones are adjustable. A lot of aftermarket ones are. You can see the thread just there. Again, I apologize for the poor video quality underneath here. It is quite tight, but these are supposed to be tight and have preload on them so that your wastegate actuator doesn't flap open while you're trying to build boost, which can cause a major boost leak. Now it is a bit warm on here, so it's hard to get my hands in, but I don't know if you guys can see or hear, but it's actually rattling. It's that loose. both up and down and back to front. It's not supposed to do that, so it's probably causing quite a major boost leak on this turbo. The other one's fine, which is good because there's no access to adjust it without taking half the car apart. But I'm going to go ahead and adjust this so it's not loose anymore, and hopefully that will help a lot with the mid-range of the car. Boost wise, it'll help us have boost earlier, and top end wise we should also be able to run a higher boost level, which is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and sort that one out now. It's just pliers to get the circlip off up the back here. There's like a little pin circlip thing, and then just a spanner to adjust that. I'll show you guys the result once I'm all done. So I've gone ahead and adjusted that rod, and I don't know how well you can tell, there's a lot of threads gone. Like, I wound it in a fair way, probably 10-15 mil. It's no longer loose. There we go. No longer loose. It is solid. If anything, the gate was slightly open before, causing quite a boost leak. Yeah, quite an idiot move for me to not pick up on that when I was assembling the car. I think it's just something I looked over, did touch it, thought it was going to be fine. But you live and you learn. I'll happily wear that mistake. I just hope it makes a difference on the dyno tomorrow. Now, luckily, that's all I had to do to get the car ready for the dyno tomorrow. I will do a fluid check and just give it a general once over, which is something you should always do before your car does go to the dyno to get tuned, because that is something you have to book in and it costs money, and you don't want to waste your tuner's time because that pisses them off and they're the last person you want to be pissing off. So yeah, other than that, I'm going to check the oil in the coolant now, give it another walk around. I won't waste your time, that's pretty boring stuff, but otherwise I'll see you guys in the morning for the dyno. Good morning everyone, we're back with the Z. It's time to go to the dyno. I'm just letting it warm up and we'll be on our way. So we're back from the dyno and I've got the results here. Last time the car made 320 kilowatts roughly, and now it's making 300. So we have lost about 20 kilowatts up top. That is due to the clutch fan now working. When it got tuned last time, the clutch fan wasn't doing anything. The car kept overheating, and now it has a clutch fan which works. So we've lost a bit of power up top because it's got a bit of resistance, but we have picked up a significant amount through the middle. It feels so much better. These turbos are a bit big for this car, being 2867s or whatever they are. So there is, no matter what, always going to be some lag there. But around 4,000 RPM, this thing is just way better than it was before. It used to only kick in at like 5 grand, so it was an absolute lag monster. But now with this new tune, with the wastegate actuator adjusted, it is just feeling so much better than I actually hope for. It is really impressive, the result that we got today at RM Performance in Pakenham. The next step for this car is going to be fixing up a few other issues that I have with it. One being the paint. This bumper is disgusting, and the hatch has some rust as well. We're going to be sorting out power steering because this thing currently has none and it is dreadful to drive. The exhaust is extremely drony. I think I'm going to do an X muffler in the middle, and the rear end, we're going to put an NA rear end in this. So I think I'm going to start a bit of a series called Fixing My Z32. So if you guys want to see some of that, let me know and I'll make sure that I film that. Thank you again for watching another episode. It really means a lot. If you want to like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. We will be doing more on this car if that's what you guys want to see. As mentioned before, there are a few things I really want to sort out on it. And we will have the Liberty back in the next episode as well, doing a turbo conversion on that, which is going to be just sick. I can't wait to turbo that thing. But yeah, thank you so much again.